As far as I'm concerned, granola bars are the perfect portable snack. A few weeks ago, I visited my friend Beth from Entertaining with Beth and shared my recipe for my favorite chewy granola bar, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it. So today, I want to show you 3 tasty twists on that same granola bar that I think you guys will love. Today, I'm going to show you my strawberry coconut granola bar, an amazing apple cinnamon granola bar, and finally, a chocolate hazelnut granola bar that tastes an awful lot like Nutella. Doesn't that sound amazing? Once you're done watching this yummy video, I definitely recommend you go check out my collaboration with Beth. We had an amazing time, and let me tell you, that granola bar is absolutely delicious. And while you're over there, be sure to subscribe to Beth's channel because she honestly is one of the best YouTube chefs I know. All right, so let's get started with our strawberry coconut granola bar. What's cool about these granola bars is that they all have the very same base. So to get started, we are going to toast up some rolled oats. Now, you can skip this step, but I find toasted oats just have a much nicer, richer flavor. Toasting our oats could not be easier, but we're basically just gonna pour them onto a sheet pan and into the oven they go at 350 degrees for about 5 minutes. You wanna keep a really good eye on them because they do tend to burn quickly. You'll know they're ready the moment you can smell them coming from the oven. Next, we are going to tackle the glue that holds these beautiful granola bars together. For this, we are using some pitted dates, and all I'm going to do is pop them into my food processor and give them a really good pulse. What you're looking for is a nice smooth paste. You may have to scrape down the sides of your food processor a couple times to make sure you have all the dates incorporated. The final ingredient in our basic recipe is actually some beautiful honey. If you didn't want to use honey in this recipe, you could definitely use maple syrup or agave nectar. Those would both work just as well. Those 3 ingredients really make up our basic recipe. Then it's time to add any sort of flavors you like. Let's get started with my strawberry coconut granola bars. For these, all I'm going to do is add some beautiful chopped almonds to my oats. Next, I'm going to add some dried strawberries that I've finely chopped. If you can't find dried strawberries at your local bulk food store, not to worry, you could also do this with dried blueberries or dried cranberries if you prefer. They would all work just as well. Finally, we are going to hit this with a little bit of unsweetened flaked coconut. I'm going to stir this all together really well, hit it with a little drizzle of honey, and then mix in my date paste. Now when it comes to mixing up these beautiful granola bars, only your hands will do because they actually get really, really sticky. So a spoon in this case is just not gonna cut it. So in we go with our hands and we're going to mix this until it's well combined. Then we are going to pour our mixture out into a baking pan that I've just lined with some parchment paper. The parchment paper is incredibly important here because I promise you, these will stick to everything. Take my word for it. All I'm going to do is press this mixture tightly into my pan, and then I'm going to pop it into the freezer for 15 to 20 minutes. This will help my granola bars set so that they're easier to cut. Once they're set, all we're going to do is turn them out onto a cutting board and cut them into whatever shape you want. You could actually even do like some cool star shapes with some cookie cutters if you wanted to. And there you have it, some beautiful strawberry coconut granola bars. What's not to love about that? Next up, I'm going to show you my apple cinnamon granola bars. Once again, I've got my toasted oats standing by in a bowl, and to that, I'm going to add a good helping of ground cinnamon. I'm going to stir this all together well so that the cinnamon is well combined, and then I'm going to add some dried apple that I've just chopped up and some chopped walnuts. You can absolutely leave the walnuts out of this recipe if you want to keep it nut-free. Then it's just a matter of adding a good drizzle of honey and my date paste. And then it's time to mix this baby up once again with our hands. If you have kids in the house, I highly recommend letting them do this part. Once our mixture has come together, we're just going to pour it into our parchment-lined baking pan and then press it really well. Into the freezer it goes for 15 to 20 minutes or until it's set and ready to cut. These have such a beautiful fall flavor. They are absolutely irresistible. Finally today, I am very excited to show you my chocolate hazelnut granola bars. And yes, these do taste a whole lot like Nutella. Once again, I'm starting with my toasted oats in a bowl, and to that I'm going to add some cocoa powder. I'm going to mix this all together well so the cocoa powder is evenly distributed, and then I'm going to add even more chocolatey goodness in the form of some chocolate chips. To To that, I'm going to add some chopped hazelnuts. Now, hazelnuts can be a little pricey, so if you wanted to replace these with almonds, that would work just as well. I'm going to give all of this a good stir and then mix in my sticky ingredients. In goes my honey, and finally, my date paste. We're going to mix this all up by hand, turn it into our pan, and into the freezer it goes. After it's set, we're going to cut it into bars, and honestly, it's like Nutella on the go. I hope you'll give these tasty recipes a try, and if you do, be sure to tweet or Instagram me a photo, because you know I love seeing what you're coming up with in your very own kitchens. And don't forget to check out my collaboration with Beth from Entertaining with Beth to see another awesome granola bar recipe. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to The Domestic Geek because there's lots more deliciousness where this came from.